the great thinker, the great halachicist, the great individual. He thought about big things. He's wearing a big beaver cap. He's wearing a long black garment. He had this distant look in his eye. My brother used to bring him chicken on Shabbos. He was a vegetarian. They forced him, the doctors were scared. They forced him to have a shtick chicken, a little bit of a shtick fliegel on Shabbos. And her father, who was very close to Rav Kook, said, stay there until he eats it. So I come here for a reason. Rav Kook talks about Hadam HaYashar. There's like 3 or 4 Hebrew terms I want to talk. This is a very hard piece to unpack. It's a joyous piece to unpack. If you're not getting it, you will start getting it, and it'll be online, and you'll get more of it. And if you don't understand it, I'll come to your house and explain it to you. This is like really crucial about what we're involved in right now, and what this ordination, this Chag HaSmicha is about. Adam HaYashar. So Yashrut means straight, but Yashrut means moral integrity. Yashrut means not only compliance in telling the truth, it's a positive moral force of taking joy and activism to make sure things go right and move in the direction. A person of integrity must believe in her life. Isn't her? Okay, her life. I'm also teaching gender-free language. That is, he or her should believe in the life of herself, and that the feelings which proceed in a direct fashion from the core of her soul are good and straight, and that they lead him into, should be Z, in a straight path love. There are great religions that despair of the human condition. The human is egotistical. The human is a sinner. The human really can't perfect oneself. And therefore, they need someone else to save them. Great religions, and now they have stereotypically defined them in one line. It's not really the Jewish way. But in the Jewish way, which we feel that the human can perfect themselves, that the human is not a corrupt sinner, still often, Judaism, Yiddishkeit I'm talking about right now, still in many of its manifestations is worried about how the human will be. The teachings of Musar, pious reflection, introspection, great ideas, but have a tremendous fear about the human. Will the human really make it? So it takes hard, unbending, self-critical work. Chassidus says, in a little different form, you need an intermediary between you and God. You need a constant teacher who will take you along the way. Rav Kook, who was a master of all Torah, a master of Musar, a master of Chassidus, I feel, in my understanding, had a third way of appreciation. And that is to say, you start with natural morality. You have to have bitachon nafshi. So I have it be when I say, right? The Torah must be a light unto his and her feet. One will see the place where error lies. For at times the soul wanders into a pathless voice, but the steady stance must be of soulful trust. Bitachon nafshi. You must believe in yourself. You must believe that deep down, that your best thoughts are actually Torah thoughts. I should say, your best thoughts are thoughts of natural morality. And the purpose of Torah then is to help you when you kind of steer off. You can always steer off. The best things of Torah is to validate these deep feelings, these feelings of morality, and to find the way that they become exemplified, that they can blossom, that they can work. I find this meaningful because We live in a generation, thank God, not my generation, generation of most of the people here, who won't accept anything unless it has a basis in natural morality, unless it's a moral statement. This potential rabbi, he'll be a rabbi in a moment. Despite what everyone says, he ain't a rabbi until I say he's a rabbi. And that's coming. But you welcome this change with all the difficulty that it brings. How do you bring forth the natural morality? And how do you teach a Torah that enhances natural morality, that enhances the moral choice? Torah is not the enemy of morality, nor is Torah standing somewhere else just talking about compliance. Torah takes what we have. Now, it's too much to go through the whole Rav Kook, which I'm dying to do. But the second, I'll do the third line. Natural morality, with the entire depth of its glory, must first necessarily be established within the soul. You have to be a moral person before you become a Torah person. You have to become a mensch before you become a Torah individual. It must be a substratum for those great influences that come from the strength of the Torah. Let's go down a little bit further. This rule is operative within the individual Jew, within the community of Israel, and within all of humanity. It's not just a particular thing. Our goal in observing the Torah, our goal in doing the Torah, our goal in making communities of Torah is not for ourselves alone, but it's to create a open civil society in which all can participate. We feel we have something to say. We feel that we have something to add. We feel that it comes from the Torah, but we're ready to be in dialogue and to take active discussion with all those who want to speak the moral talk. Skip 3, give me the 4. 5, okay. 5 makes sense. No, 5 makes sense. We might shut our ears from hearing the simple voice of Hashem that calls out forcefully from all the gates of natural light, the inheritance of every human being. In other words, that kid, whatever the age, who asked that smart alecky question, whether it's in the class or around the table, and says, how can we teach this? It seems to go against morality. That kid, he is speaking the words of Torah. That's why the teacher often gets very mad. Because it's the kid, our exchange, it's the kid who's speaking Torah. If our belief, when we think this happens, we make a mistake when we think that the light of Torah is found only when we tear it away from the world. If this is our belief that you have to tear Torah away from the world, from the light of the world, from natural morality, then we don't understand the value of Torah. And what happens if you believe this? So he quotes a pasuk, a verse, and he quotes Onkelos. Onkelos, guy came from the outside, right? Major Roman family. He joins Judaism, gives the only authoritative translation that we have of the entire corpus of the Torah. He does it, and this is what he says in this verse. Regarding such a belief, it is stated, a foolish people are not wise. Where's that pasuk over there? Am navav v'lo chacham. When you're only about compliance and law, I believe in compliance and law. But when you only believe in that, am chacham am navav v'lo chacham, you are a foolish people and not wise. Onkelos. It says, he's called Onkelos Hager, the convert. He chose us. How fortunate we are. Onkelos translate, a people that has accepted the Torah, but they haven't become wise. And the wisdom comes with natural morality. The wisdom comes with bringing morality, nature, and Torah together. It's not always a smooth fit. There's that tension around the table. Think about the time you've been in a class with the rabbi we're going to ordain, and you feel that tension. Or you're sitting around the table waiting for that wonderful food, your wonderful Torah, but still, like, how does this fit? This is the entire, this is our progress, this is our goal, and this is really a person who will lead Jews into that. Now, I got a document here. It's called a cloth. It's a cloth because it's written on parchment. And the stewardess started looking inside, got worried that she's going to take Semikhah. Thank you, Rebecca. You know what, Jeremy, I'm sorry. You got to come here. Is that okay? This is an official certificate. It's written by a sofer. It's written on vellum. It's, when you write with the Sefer Torah, it's written the same way. The ink lies on top of the parchment, which is you have to really be careful that it doesn't get erased. You know what I mean. Harav Yaakov Tzvi Borovitz, and Harav Nosson Yitzchak Halevi V'chana Tzviya, comes from a good family. Mitztayeh B'yirat Shemayim, he's excellent in the fear of heaven. The love of his fellow human beings, dedicated to the people of Israel, and he has proven his ability in distributing Torah in the most sublime manner. And in the same way, Rav Yaakov Tzvi, Lamad Etzleinu B'Shkeida, Talmud Poskim, he has learned with us the Talmud, the halachic deciders, and he's been tested in Yoredea. He's also been tested in Orach Chaim. And he has proven the depth of understanding in these difficult subjects. Therefore, anumas michim osto. Therefore, we're giving him the degree, the Torah. Yora, should he be able to render halachic decisions? Yora, you can, and you must. V'hi ratzon, we have a prayer. The Rav Yaakov Tzvi Borovitz, Yizakel U'Molamed, should have the zechus to teach in that special way you know how to teach. Torah and morality. Torah v'Yashrut. L'mod v'lamed, to teach. That means to learn and to teach. Let's continue learning. Last thing Rabbi Soloveitchik said to me when he signed my Semikhah and gave it to me, he says, if you don't continue learning, I will come to your house and take it off the wall. He can't do it, but I will. And you should have the privilege, by me, Talmidim Harbe, to have many students come to him. And when you come to him, just as they're having a nice day, ask him your questions. Confide when you feel that you can confide. Ask him the hard ones. And if he can't answer you, well, he'll turn to his parents who have a world, to Neil and to Rabbi Neil and to Anne, who have a world of experience, and he'll turn to his partner, I should say boss, Rabbi Rebecca. And I'm writing my email on the back. And that you should raise many students, and you should continue the chain of tradition, in the spirit of Ruach Yisrael Saba of ancient Israel. Therefore, we've come to sign our names. Chaf Bet Shvat today. Tav Shin Pei. It's signed by Harav Dochem Tzvi Danzig. Dochem Tzvi Danzig is a great Talmid Chacham in Yerushalayim, who is a direct descendant of the Chacham Tzvi, of good German rabbis. I also signed also. We turn to you. We have great expectations, and it's a delight.
Thank you. I'm a little bit wowed. I'm also, some of you know this, between Rebecca and I'm the crier, so we'll see what happens. Distinguished guests, rabbis, friends, and family, thank you for joining us this evening. I am very humbled and very honored that all of you came out to celebrate with us today. Also, if I'm being honest, and I always try to be honest, I'm a little bit anxious and fearful. I'm somewhat uncomfortable with the title, with the idea that now I'm a rabbi. The title freaks me out. The responsibilities freak me out more. We live in a world where unbalanced power dynamics can lead to terrible abuses, where the fragility of the masses has been exploited by the few. A rabbi is powerful, a rabbi is influential, a rabbi can help, but a rabbi also has the power to hurt. I'm terrified of hurting others. I'm scared that something I say or do will influence someone to leave their community, to walk away from Yiddishkeit, to be a worse version of themselves. I'm terrified that this whole rabbi business will go straight to my head, that I'll be corrupted by my own inclinations to be known and to be liked. How can I be a rabbi, but also continue to be the best version of Jeremy that I can be? In Pirkei Avot, chapter 2, Mishnah 8, one Mishnah before the one my father taught earlier this evening. I wonder where that came from. Eliezer ben Horkanus and Elazar ben Arach are named as the best students of Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai. Rabbi Eliezer ben Horkanus is described as borsot she'eno me'abed tipa, a cistern covered in plaster that does not lose a drop. Rabbi Elazar ben Arach is described as ma'ayan hamitgaber, the ever-strengthening fountain. One tradition tells us that Rabbi Eliezer ben Horkanus outweighed all the other students, while another tradition prescribes that role to Rabbi Elazar ben Arach. So who is the best? We've all been in classes in universities and schools at Base Berlin where there are two students vying for the top. I can imagine nearly 2,000 years ago in Yavna, these two young men struggling to be their teacher's favorite. Who were they? And what were their stories? Rabbi Elazar ben Arach, the ever-strengthening fountain, was bursting with Torah. He knew that a good heart was the right path forward. He once sat and explained to his teacher, Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, the Torah of the Merkavah, the divine chariot, deep Kabbalistic and mystical secrets that even the greatest scholars struggle to explain. He was constantly coming up with new ideas, chidushei Torah, that illuminated the deepest secrets of our world and our tradition. But after the death of his teacher, Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, rather than following his fellow students to Yavne, where they would build a great yeshiva, he went to Diomset, a place of beautiful waters, a spa town in the north. He was comfortable, but he was alone, and he was isolated, and eventually he forgot all of his Torah. Rabbi Eliezer ben Horkanus, the plastered cistern that doesn't lose a drop, never forgot a single word of Torah. He once famously said that he never said anything that he didn't hear from his teachers. He's one of the most quoted rabbis in the Mishnah and was the teacher of the greatest sage of the next generation, Rabbi Akiva. But Rabbi Eliezer had a reputation for being difficult. In a famous debate about the potential for a certain type of oven to contract impurity, Rabbi Eliezer loudly and proudly stated his opinion that this multi-piece oven was in fact considered whole and thus capable of becoming impure. The rest of the rabbinic world vehemently disagreed with him. But rather than listen to what his colleagues had to say, he called upon the heavens to support him. Trees were uprooted, rivers changed direction, houses of study almost collapsed, and a voice emerged from the sky saying that the law was on his side. No matter. His colleagues were fed up, and they expelled him from the Beit Midrash, from the Sanhedrin, exiling him to his home. Devastated, distraught, and destroyed, he fell upon his face during the Tachanun prayer, and the pain which was transmitted up to the heavens led to the death of his brother-in-law, Rabban Gamliel. The Ma'ayan HaMitkaber, the ever-strengthening fountain, constantly shot out new ideas, but was incapable of holding on to them. The borsod, the plastered cistern, held all of the Torah of previous generations, but had no internal source of water. Together, they were able to bring the Torah to brave new heights. Separated, they fell victim to their own power, and their strengths became weaknesses. How do I become a rabbi and still remain Jeremy? The key, I believe, is to not be alone. To not separate myself from my friends and chavrutas and teachers who have made me who I am. Today I'm surrounded, either in person or virtually, by so many people who constantly confront me with honesty. People who want me to be better, people who help me be better, and people who do it out of a deep respect and a deep love. To all my chavrutas and students and teachers in the audience, thank you. Thank you for the times when you have asked me the difficult questions, when you brought new ideas, al tikri yavne ele yibane, that made me see my own Torah in a whole new way. To my uncle, Rabbi Mark Borovitz, who's watching from afar, thank you for always asking how this work enriches my soul. To those of you on this adventure with the Kreuzberg Kollel, especially my thought partner in crime, Amitai's father, thank you for forcing me to be better and to go deeper, for not allowing the surface to be the final destination. To the Base Berlin team, Valvo, Sabrina, Naomi, our board, our volunteers and our event chairs, Nina, Noemi, Paige, Igor, Jeremy, Molly, Robbie, and Anya, and everyone I forgot, who I didn't just mention right now. I'm really sorry. Thank you for supporting us while asking questions, for not allowing us to be stagnant, for demanding more of us than we sometimes demand of ourselves. Rabbi Landis, 3 years ago, you helped me emerge from a dark place in my own Torah learning and development. You invited me to begin learning with you again, but on the condition that I was committed to getting better. My reading wasn't up to snuff. My head was all over the place. My kippah resembled the Pope's. Still does. You told me where I wasn't strong, and you said with confidence that I would get there. Your unwavering faith in me, in the Jewish people, in the incredible rebuilding happening in this city is constant and invaluable. Thank you for allowing me the honor and the responsibility to be another link in this chain of tradition. Dubi, you're a tzaddik. Every time you walk into a room, people can't help but gravitate towards you, to your goodness. May we all merit to benefit from some of the goodness you're emanating into the world. To my family, my sister, who's maybe watching, who has always told me what she thought of my ideas, most of which she thought were idiotic, all of which she defended to my parents. Thank you. To my mother, Ann Applebaum, Thank you for always pushing me to resolve the smaller details, to see a problem from every perspective, and to attack it relentlessly. And thank you for telling me I could be anything I wanted to be except a rabbi. I probably wouldn't be here today without that. Avi Mori, Rabbi Neil Borovitz, you are the shining example of goodness in this world. Thank you for explaining lovingly and kindly how I can be a better son, a better husband, and a better father. I strive to attain even a small part of the wisdom you bring to the world. To my rabbi, Rebecca Blady, your soul pushes my soul to be more loving. You make me a better teacher, a better partner, and a better friend. Every day with you is an opportunity to grow. Thank you for nurturing that growth with compassion, for your patience when I sometimes take longer than you would like. And to my daughter Hindi, who is hopefully sleeping, your Torah is just emerging into the world, but it has changed me and will continue to change me. May you learn how to catch your Papa's Torah. May your Papa be prepared for the overflowing spring of your personality and life. And finally, to all of you here, the Jews of Berlin, thank you for allowing us to be a part of this unfathomable growth and renewal. We are so honored to be able to be a small part of this city's and this community's journey. I ask only one thing in return. Don't let us off easy. Push us, challenge us, make us better, and do it with love. Together, there is a whole new world of Torah that we can explore, create, and hold on to. But if we separate from each other, if we stop loving each other, then we will forget all of the lessons that we have yet to learn. Thank you.
Mazel tov to Jeremy. Mazel tov to all. 2 more minutes. Then the food. One of the biggest lessons that Jeremy has taught me is the power of having faith in my own uniqueness. He has taught me to be proud of who I am, of what I stand for, knowing that I am not perfect and do not always do the right thing at the right time. But still, that I can and should stand for the good things that I believe in. A better world, better interactions among people, more love, a lot more love. As we transition this time into a community celebration, I invite us all to take a moment and think about one concrete thing we can each do to make this lesson a reality. What do we need in order to believe more in ourselves? Each of us has a unique role in this world that no one else can fill. We owe it not just to ourselves, but to this world, to discover what makes us unique, to take pride in who we are, and to truly advocate for what we stand for. Who knows how many other people are standing around waiting in line for us to discover all that we can give. I feel immense gratitude to have witnessed 2 individuals stand here today and announce to the world that they are clear on their purpose. To Dubi and Jeremy, thank you for allowing us to honor you. Today is a day of joy and celebration, truly a gift from Hashem. May your memory of today be one of pride, another step on your path of bringing joy to the lives of even more people. I would also like to take the opportunity to briefly thank the following people for everything they've done for today. Ann Applebaum and Rabbi Neil Borovitz for making this day possible. Rabbi Landis and Rabbi from Yashrut for everything you've done for Jeremy and for all of us. All of our speakers for the wonderful inspiration. All the members of our team at Base Berlin. Especially Velvel Valentin Lutzet for the beautiful graphic design and all the work that you've done behind the scenes to make this event a reality. You get it. Another very special and very important thanks is to this venue. We are here in this place, Eruv Hub, a collaboration of grassroots Jewish organizations working on a new project to connect people thinking about how to build Jewish life in this city, and we are so happy to be a part of it. So thank you to Eruv Hub, and thank you to Boom Berlin, which is this bigger venue that hosts us at the moment. We are very, very grateful for your support and cooperation. I would also like to thank our wonderful event co-chairs, Molly Sharfman, Anya Olenek, and Josh Pernick, all the volunteers who came early to help set this up. We appreciate you so much. Torat Chaim for allowing us to include you in this Simcha and for opening opportunities to European Jewry, the people and organizations whose generosity and faith make everything we do for Jewish life in Berlin possible, Hillel International, Genesis Philanthropy Group, JDC, and many others present and watching live now. Thank you so much. All of our friends and members of the Base community for helping us make an amazing life here in Berlin and in Germany. And finally, our amazing musicians, Alex Stolze and Ben Osborne. They will now close the ceremony with an original piece called Don't Try to Be.
Which is actually based on meditation about Tiferet.
Don't try to be someone else. Don't try to be someone else. Otherwise, you ain't like you. Otherwise, you ain't like you. Don't try to be someone else. Otherwise, you be like you. Don't try to be someone else. Otherwise, you would be like you. It's my goodwill for you. Stay as you are, right?
Thank you so much once again, Alex and Ben. Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you, Doobie. Mazel tov to everyone. You are welcome to join us in the back for a reception. If you would like to pray Mariv, it will be here next to the stage at 7:30 sharp. Thank you for coming. Mazel tov. Have a good night.